What's up guys, it's Kelly and today I've got a fun little video for you. I wanted to do some galaxy nail art in celebration of my collaboration plate with MoYou London being back in stock, and I got a little carried away, so I decided to do the same design on my eyes as well. So this is a little combo makeup and nail art video, so let's just jump right into it. So I'm going to start off with my clean natural nail, and I'm applying my Orly Bonder base coat just to start off this manicure. This is what I use to protect my natural nails and prevent any stains. And then I'm going in with my favorite white nail polish, which is OPI Alpine Snow. I did end up doing 2 coats, even though this one is almost a 1-coater for me. So what I wanted to do was actually do a manicure that sort of matched the design of the backing of my collab stamping plate. So I took a sponge. I have some hot pink, some blue, some purple, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put little dots of that all over the sponge in kind of a random pattern. And there's really no rhyme or reason to the way that I put the dots on this. It's just to kind of create like a whole cloudy, I don't know how to describe it, atmosphere. So once I had that sponge nice and fully saturated, I ended up actually wrapping up my skin with some Scotch tape because my liquid latex dried out and I need to buy some new liquid latex. But yeah, it protected my skin just fine, so don't you worry. And then I went in with my glorious stamping plate in all of its galaxy wonder. I decided to focus on the star design, but also I used a little bit of the planets spotted design. So I took some white stamping polish. This is the Maniology Bam White, and I'm also using the Maniology Clear Monocle Stamper, and I just kind of created a little spacey galaxy. Now, sometimes I find, oh, by the way, I do use tape to clear off any bits that get on my skin when I'm stamping. It's a really easy cleanup method, but I sometimes find that I get little spots of clearness when I'm stamping. Usually it happens when I'm going too quickly. If I'm working slowly, it doesn't really happen too often, but I really wanted the design to be fully white without any spots in it. So I just took a tiny little nail art brush and some of that white stamping polish, and I went in and I kind of just filled in any areas that had little white spots in it, or not white spots, but I added white spots to it just to kind of really solidify that design and make it look nice. And then my ultimate trick from keeping stamping nail art from smudging, I always go in with my Maniology No Smudge top coat first. I let that dry and then I go in with my regular top coat. In this case, for whatever reason, I was in the mood to use Seche Vive, which I've been using actually a lot on my Amazon live streams, so I've been really enjoying this one. It has a nice gel-like finish, and there you have it. That is the final design. So this is what it looked like on all of my nails, and I thought it was just so cute that I actually decided I wanted that on my face as well. But I didn't want it to be too dramatic. I wanted it to be something that was relatively wearable. Now, obviously, relative terms here because most people might not want to wear a little galaxy on their eyes, but I didn't want it to be anything like editorial. I just wanted it to be a little bit funky. So I have 2 palettes that I'm using for this, the BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette and the Ditto Cosmetics Neon palette, and I'm using I think 3 or 4 different eyeshadows. This one was different for me because I actually didn't use any black eyeshadow to kind of deepen the outer corner, which I normally do, because I really wanted this to have a very ethereal, sort of soft pastel-y kind of vibe to it. So I started off with a light pink and a super fluffy brush, and I just went into my crease area and the outer corner, and I really wanted to blow it out, so I'm also using this on my lower lid. Normally I don't recommend using such a fluffy brush on my lower lid, but like I said, I really wanted this very blown out. So then moving into the neon palette, I am taking a slightly deeper neon pink shade, and I'm kind of going over the same areas that I did with that lighter pink. Now, I did recently post a video, if anybody is interested, on all of the brushes that I like to use and that I recommend for beginners if you're just getting started with makeup. So I will link that up in the cards if anybody is interested. But yeah, just kind of going in with a bunch of fluffy brushes. And then I'm taking this really beautiful blue shade and I'm putting that in my inner corner, but also kind of lining my eye with it, if that makes any sense. I really wanted to mimic the style that I did on my nails, which was more of a randomized pattern of where the blue and the purple and the pink were. Now, obviously, I couldn't do as random of placement on my eyes, just for the sake of wanting it to be relatively cohesive, but I kind of tried to make the shades almost feel like they were randomly fading into each other, not necessarily like in specific areas like I normally would. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, hopefully the visual helps, and if that doesn't, then I am a failure. Basically just going back and forth with those colors until I am satisfied with how it looks. And again, you know, I just kind of wanted to have that very dreamy, soft vibe to it. Normally I go in with a very intense, deep look, so this was something a little bit different and new for me, but I do love experimenting with different stuff. I did end up going in with a slightly deeper purple just to kind of deepen that outer corner a little bit to give myself a tiny bit more dimension. But another funky thing I did for this eye makeup look is I'm actually not doing any winged liner, which I almost always do. So I'm kind of just repeating the process on the lower lid here and just really letting it get nice and smoked out because I'm going to be adding some galaxies and planets. So I wanted to do a really intense highlight for this. I used the NYX Duochrome illuminating palette and it's got some funky colors in it, so I mixed some together to create this sort of similar cotton candy ethereal vibe on myself. I put some in my inner corner as well, and now we're diving in with the actual freehanding stars and planets on my eyes. Now I will say it's a lot easier to do stamping than it is to actually freehand this. The good thing is when you're doing it on your eyes, you don't have to worry about doing it on your dominant hand because you can use your dominant hand for both sides of your face, but it is still pretty difficult. So I actually sped this up a little bit just so you guys could see what I'm doing, but not see it take as much time as it ended up taking for me. So basically just kind of drew little plus signs, added to them until they looked like a little star. I had a small ringed planet that I thought would be a cute little addition. And then what I did, and by the way, I am using the same nail art brush. You probably shouldn't do it because I cleaned this with acetone and I shouldn't have put that near my eye, but it was just such a convenient sized brush for it. But one thing that I did with it was I also just dipped it into the white paint and I just created little dots on my eyes with that. So I thought that worked out really well. So I'm adding my pencil liner. I did white on the bottom and then black on the top. Very simple, nothing too crazy, nothing too dark. I used some mascara because I didn't want to go in with the false lashes for this, and I ended up wanting to add just a tiny bit more of the little white dots with my face paint just to kind of add to the bottom half of my eye makeup look. But yeah, that was actually it. It was a super simple eye makeup look, a super simple nail art look, and together I felt like a whole space princess unicorn situation. So it was very fun. I almost wish that I had a hair color to match this, but I just dyed my little streak green, so I couldn't do that. But anyway, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit different from my usual content, but if you are ever interested in seeing more makeup and nail art funky combos like this, just let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. It always makes me feel pretty good. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And I love you. Bye.